Hey everyone, in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to install the Govee TV Backlight 3. If you're looking at how to install the Govee TV Backlight 3, this video is for you. Govee themselves actually provide you a quick start guide, which is pretty helpful as far as getting your backlight actually set up. So again, this is for the Govee TV Backlight 3, but if you're just looking for a bit more clarification, this is where I come in. The actual backlight itself, it's an adhesive light strip. And so I was actually able to install my backlight on an 83-inch TV even while it was mounted onto the wall. So it didn't really, I've seen a lot of other tutorials on YouTube where the TV was like on the TV console, or they could actually pull out the mount so it would make it easier. So I was actually able to install the backlight on an 83-inch TV even though it was mounted to the wall exactly like this. First things first, you have the adhesive light strip over here, which I honestly just kind of ran my fingers on the edge of the TV and then pressed along the actual lighting adhesive strip itself. So I did that and it took me about 15 minutes to go from corner to corner. So as you can see here on the top, I'm actually pressing down my fingers on the adhesive light strip, and I'm using the edge of my finger and the edge of the TV to actually kind of gauge how far the actual light strip goes from on the edge of the TV. So again, I'm feeling it. Most of me on how I installed the backlight was actually just me feeling for the actual adhesive light strip. So again, I did that for the entire 4 sides of my TV. And then afterwards, I actually connected or sat the camera on top of there and then connected the wiring, because there is a control panel that you see back there. So that little blue light that's shining, that's the control panel. And I also pasted that on the back of my TV. So as far as measurements go, okay, I did measure the wiring. So this wire here is the actual backlight wiring, and I did make sure to measure that as far as the middle of the TV goes all the way to the control panel, which is technically behind to where my finger is pointing. Okay, so I made sure to measure that just in case the placement of the actual control panel isn't too far, because if I made it too far to the right, for example, if the control panel was right behind over here, like right on the edge over here, the wiring wouldn't have reached the camera that you see on top of there. In addition, the wiring also may have not reached my outlet plug, which is also located over here. So also measure the actual outlet plug, okay? Measure the wiring. And so I used a green piece of tape to actually paste onto where I thought my control panel would be. Now the backlight's actually sticking to the back of the TV, the camera set up, the wiring set up. The next thing to do was to simply just turn the backlight on and then install the Govee app. So that was very simple to do. So make sure to install the Govee app, and then you want to connect your backlight to the same Wi-Fi that your house is using, okay? And once you actually connect it, it's very simple to do. Just look for the TV backlight. You simply click on this plus button, and then it's gonna search just by default. On the top here, you see where it says nearby new devices. Your backlight should appear on there, okay? Your backlight should appear on these nearby new devices, and all you gotta do is click on add. So it's very, very simple to connect, very, very simple to do. Now, the next thing is that after you have your Govee TV backlight connected to the app, next comes the calibration portion, okay? So again, refer back to the quick start guide, because this is where those orange squares are going to come in handy, and this is probably the part that took me the longest, right? So with these little orange squares, I pasted them on all 7 corners, okay? So there was one over here, there was one in the middle. I made sure to measure the direct middle between the top of my TV and over here. All right, so I measured that and divided it by the 2, and then I actually pasted a square there, one square there, one square here. So the logo on my TV made it easy to know where the middle it was over there. So I pasted a square there. I pasted a square there. And again, measured the middle, pasted a square here, and then a square there. So now, once you actually start the calibration, this is where it took me the longest. What ended up happening was that with this calibration, it was actually quite difficult because the lighting wasn't matching. And so what I actually ended up doing after trying to calibrate it like 4 or 5 times was that I calibrated it one last time. And then here's a lot of things that a lot of people don't tell you. After I calibrated it, I actually instead adjusted the angle of my camera, and that finally did the trick, okay? So if you're having trouble calibrating your Govee TV backlight, after calibrating it like 4 or 5 times, what I finally did was I adjusted the angle of my TV backlight, and that finally got it to work. Now with the actual calibration in place, the lighting looks great. It's lit up in all four corners. When a corner is dark, the edge is also dark. So I was able to successfully calibrate it, and I guess the key that I didn't find anyone else on YouTube say to do was, if you're having trouble after the first calibration, try adjusting the angle of your camera. That was the final step that finally allowed me to experience a really nice backlight. Let's actually turn it on right now. So as you can see, it is lit up right now. I just have it in all one color, and I also have the floor lamps matching. That is how to install the Govee TV backlight and kind of my struggles that I had with it. But if you found this video helpful, let me know in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.